You ever find yourself staring at the horizon, wondering which boats you can actually trust to carry you over it, not just for a weekend sail, but for the long haul? I mean, really trust. The kind of trust you build after hearing storm stories and crossing thousands of miles with nothing but water in every direction. Well, today we're diving into the top 20 most reliable blue water sailboats for serious offshore cruising. These aren't marina queens or coastal dabblers. They're time-tested, sailor-approved hulls that have taken countless folks across oceans, around capes, and straight into the dream. Whether you're planning your first passage or just daydreaming with a chart and a rum in hand, this list might just point you toward your future home, or, at the very least, your next obsession. Let's kick it off with a boatyard legend and a favorite among serious cruisers. These boats are the gold standard of serious blue water cruising, especially if you're the type who values comfort and quality over speed. Built in Sweden, Hallberg-Rassy sailboats are known for their elegant lines, solid fiberglass hulls, and beautifully finished interiors that feel more like a Scandinavian cabin than a floating camper. The Hallberg-Rassy 38, 42, and 46 all have that signature center cockpit, which offers not just protection, but fantastic visibility and safety underway. They're steady in heavy seas, easy to live aboard, and thoughtfully laid out with long passages in mind. Things like deep cockpit coamings, wide side decks, and top-notch joinery aren't just aesthetic. They're functional and help you stay safe offshore. Sailors love these boats because they're predictable, comfortable, and tough. You'll see them in every ocean, from the North Sea to the South Pacific. And unlike lighter production boats, these feel rock-solid when the wind kicks up. Sure, they're not racing sleds, but they weren't built to be. They were built to take care of you, mile after mile, storm after storm. If you're dreaming of long, serious passages and you want a boat that'll get you there in one piece and keep you smiling, this is it. Najad is another name that comes up time and time again when you ask experienced cruisers what they'd trust for the long haul. Built just down the road from Hallberg-Rassy in Sweden, Najads share that same reputation for seaworthiness, craftsmanship, and smart, rugged design. The Najad 34, 37, and 440 are standout models. They're full-keeled or modified long-keeled cruisers, offering a stable and forgiving ride in rough weather. The build quality is top-tier. These boats are overbuilt in the best possible way. Heavy layups, strong bulkheads, and rock-solid rigging are the norm. The interiors are classic, practical, and warm, perfect for life aboard. And like Hallberg-Rassy, Najads are often set up for short-handed sailing, with lines led aft, reliable systems, and cockpits designed to keep you dry and secure when the sea gets nasty. Najads don't scream flash, they quietly do the job day after day, wave after wave. They're ideal for the sailor who wants a dependable partner, not a diva. Whether you're crossing the Atlantic or just sailing the coast but want true offshore capability under your feet, a Najad will give you peace of mind. And that's worth more than speed or flash any day. If you've ever been inside an island packet, you'll know what comfort at sea feels like. These boats are built in the USA and are all about heavy displacement, full keels, and roomy, livable interiors. The Island Packet 35, 38, and 420 are particularly well regarded among serious cruisers and full-time live-aboards. One of the biggest draws is that full keel. It gives you tracking stability, durability, and a gentle ride, especially in sloppy seas. These boats aren't built for racing, they're built for arriving. And they usually arrive with less fuss and fewer breakages than lighter, racier designs. The build quality is consistent and dependable. These boats have thick hulls, strong rigs, and roomy cockpits. Inside, it's all about comfort. Wide beam, plenty of storage, and actual room to breathe. That means you can cruise for months without going stir-crazy or needing a marina every week. Some purists knock them for being slow, but when you're out there with your whole world on board, comfort and safety beat speed every time. For couples or families looking to go far, live aboard full-time, and not worry when the wind pipes up, island packets are a rock-solid choice. Sailing a Hans Christian feels like stepping back in time, in all the right ways. These boats are the classic image of a world cruiser. Full keels, heavy displacement, lots of teak, and that salty double-ended stern that just looks right when it's pointing into a sunset. The Hans Christian 33, 38, and 41 traditional, 41T, are rugged offshore cruisers built to handle serious passage-making. They're heavy, slow to accelerate, but once moving they track like freight trains. That makes them incredibly steady offshore, especially when things get bumpy. These boats were built with overkill in mind. Thick hulls, stout rigging, and big tankage for long-range independence. They're perfect for sailors who value classic lines, simplicity, and seaworthiness over speed or tech. Inside, they're like cozy wooden cabins, with plenty of charm and solid joinery. Sure, there's upkeep. Teak decks and old systems need attention, and you won't win any regattas. But when you're in the middle of the ocean and the wind picks up, you'll be glad you're in a boat that feels like a small ship. For anyone who dreams of going far, slowly, and in absolute style and security, a Hans Christian is hard to beat. When you think of a no-nonsense, go-anywhere boat that's made to eat up ocean miles without fuss, Pacific Seacraft is the name that keeps coming up. Built in the USA, these boats are rugged, beautiful, and designed with blue water in their bones. The Pacific Seacraft 34, 37, and 40 are standout models, each with a long history of offshore success. Designed by Bill Krelock, these boats feature a conservative fin keel with a skeg-hung rudder, striking a perfect balance between performance and seaworthiness. They're not flashy, but they're strong where it counts. Deep bilges, heavy layup, and a motion at sea that inspires confidence, not fear. They're also compact enough to be sailed solo or by a couple, yet big enough to cross oceans in comfort. And their systems are smartly laid out. Engine access, tankage, and electrical are all done with practicality in mind. What I love most is that these boats feel alive under sail. They're responsive without being twitchy, solid without being sluggish. If you're looking for a proper offshore cruiser with proven pedigree, sensible systems, and classic good looks, you'll be hard-pressed to find better than a Pacific Seacraft. The Tayana 37 is one of those boats you'll find in anchorages all over the world, and there's a reason for that. It's a full-keel cruiser with serious offshore capability, loads of storage, and a warm, practical interior that makes it ideal for long-distance sailing. These boats are known for their solid fiberglass hulls, traditional looks, and a layout that works well for liveaboards and passage makers alike. What makes the Tayana 37 so reliable is its heavy displacement, deep draft, and strong construction. It handles rough weather without drama and has enough space to carry everything you need for extended voyages. The cutter rig offers flexibility in a range of conditions, and the deck layout feels safe and secure when the seas kick up. Down below, you get a cozy living space with a proper galley, roomy sleeping quarters, and real-world storage. This isn't a lightweight production boat. It's a serious cruiser that's crossed oceans and kept doing it year after year. If you're looking for a dependable long-haul platform with classic charm and blue-water chops, the Tayana 37 is a rock-solid choice. The Baba 30 and Panda 40 are from the same family. Traditional, heavy cruisers with full keels, double-ender hulls, and thick, overbuilt construction. These boats were made for one thing: to go the distance. Whether you're dreaming of sailing across oceans or just want a boat that can take a beating without flinching, they've got your back. The Baba 30 is compact but incredibly capable. It's ideal for solo sailors or couples who want offshore strength in a smaller, more manageable package. The Panda 40 steps it up in size and tankage, giving you more room to stretch out without losing that dependable, go-anywhere vibe. Both boats feature warm interiors, lots of teak, and the kind of thoughtful layout that makes life at sea smoother. On deck, everything feels strong and secure. From the beefy handrails to the deep cockpit and solid rigging, these boats won't win races, but they'll get you there safely, and they'll do it with style. For sailors who care more about surviving storms than turning heads, the Baba and Panda are legendary for a reason. The Valiant 40 and Valiant 42 are serious offshore boats built for serious sailors. These are the boats you see on round-the-world lists, storm survival guides, and tied up in far-off anchorages after long ocean crossings. They're fast enough to cover ground and strong enough to take punishment, which is why they've built such a solid reputation over the years. With a conservative fin keel and a protected rudder setup, they strike a great balance between performance and safety. They sail flatter and faster than full-keel cruisers, but they still give you the confidence and forgiveness you need in heavy weather. Inside, the layout is all about practicality: sea berths that actually work, a nav station you can use underway, and systems that are built to be serviced in far-flung places. The cockpit is safe, the motion is predictable, and everything feels like it was made by people who've done real passages. Some older boats had hull blister issues, so you'll want to check that on the used market, but many have been refitted and are still going strong. If you want a proven ocean cruiser that moves well and doesn't cut corners, the Valiant is a name worth trusting. The Westsail 32 is one of the most iconic blue water boats ever built. It helped launch the cruising movement in the 70s, and even today, you'll still find them crossing oceans and sitting proudly at remote anchorages around the world. This boat doesn't pretend to be fast, but what it lacks in speed, it makes up for in raw strength and dependability. With a full keel, deep hull, and heavy displacement, the Westsail 32 is a tank. She sails steadily in heavy seas and makes you feel secure even when things get rough. The cutter rig adds flexibility, and the boat's motion is famously comfortable when the wind is up and the swell is building. Below deck, you get a surprisingly spacious interior for her length, with a traditional layout that works well at sea. There's no wasted space, and everything feels solid. This is a boat made to carry gear, provisions, and people safely across vast stretches of ocean. She's slow, but when the weather's bad and the passage is long, slow, and steady starts to sound like a pretty good plan. The Westsail 32 is a classic for a reason. The Contessa 32 is one of the smallest boats on this list, but don't let her size fool you. She's built to cross oceans and has done so more times than you can count. This is a boat that punches far above its weight, with a reputation for toughness that few others can match. She's narrow, deep, and carries a full keel, which makes her incredibly capable in rough conditions. Her motion at sea is smooth and predictable, and she tracks well even when the wind is howling. If you're looking for a boat that takes care of you when the going gets tough, the Contessa 32 is a solid bet. Inside, space is tight but functional. You've got room for 1 or 2 people to live simply and safely on extended passages. It's not luxury, it's practicality, and it works. Everything has a purpose, and everything's within reach. This is a sailor's boat. No fluff, no gimmicks, just solid construction, seaworthy design, and a proven track record. If you're serious about sailing far in a smaller boat, the Contessa 32 is one of the best platforms you'll find. It's earned its place in the Blue Water Hall of Fame. The Vancouver series, 27, 32, and 36, are all about real-world cruising in compact, seaworthy packages. These boats were built with blue water in mind, not just in theory but in actual practice. You'll find them quietly bobbing at anchor in remote spots all over the globe, often with proud owners who've gone the distance. The Vancouver 27 might be the smallest, but it's no slouch offshore. It has a full keel, a protected rudder, and a layout that works for serious passage making. The 32 and 36 just add more comfort and tankage to the same tough, dependable platform. These boats are heavily built, stable, and surprisingly roomy below, especially given their lengths. You'll get real sea berths, a safe galley, and plenty of storage for long passages. They're not flashy, and they're definitely not fast, but they are consistent, reliable, and incredibly forgiving when the seas get messy. If your dream is to go far on a manageable boat without compromising on seaworthiness, the Vancouver lineup is a top choice. These boats might not turn heads at the marina, but they'll still be sailing when others are heading home early. The Cape Dory 30 and 36 are classic American cruisers that carry a reputation for strength, comfort, and a calm, predictable ride offshore. Built solid, with full keels and deep hulls, these boats are as steady as they come. They're not designed to race. They're designed to cross oceans without fuss, and they do it well. The Cape Dory 30 is a manageable, pocket-sized cruiser that's easy to handle solo or as a couple. It's simple, seaworthy, and built like a little ship. The 36 gives you more room, better tankage, and a bit more comfort, making it a great option for longer passages or live-aboard life. Down below, these boats have a warm and functional layout. Real sea berths, solid wood interiors, and enough storage to actually leave the dock for a few months without resupplying every week. On deck, the rig is sturdy and straightforward, with solid gear and good handholds everywhere. These boats don't try to reinvent the wheel, they just quietly do the job. If you're looking for a reliable cruiser that'll keep you safe and comfortable in just about any weather, Cape Doris are always worth a serious look. The Alberg 30, 35, and 37 are known for their traditional lines, full keels, and honest-to-goodness ocean passage heritage. These boats may look old school, but they've crossed more oceans than many modern cruisers combined. And they're still going strong. The Alberg 30 is a compact cruiser with a long keel and deep hull that gives it a steady, comfortable motion at sea. The 35 and 37 offer more space and capability, but all three share that same solid character. They're boats that won't surprise you when the weather turns foul, and that's exactly what you want when you're hundreds of miles from shore. Down below, the layouts are simple and functional. You won't get luxury finishes or massive heads, but you will get good sea berths, sturdy joinery, and a cozy vibe that works well for serious sailing. On deck, the gear is rugged and practical, with everything right where you need it. These boats aren't flashy, and they're not fast, but they're dependable, safe, and built for the long haul. If you want a traditional full-keel cruiser with a real track record of getting people across oceans, the Alberg series delivers every time. The Southern Cross 31 and 35 are full-keel cruisers with serious offshore pedigree. These boats were built with thick fiberglass hulls, deep bilges, and long-range cruising in mind. They've got that unmistakable blue water stance, heavy, deep, and ready for anything. The 31 is compact but surprisingly capable. It's ideal for solo sailors or couples looking to go far on a tight budget. The 35 adds more room for gear, water, fuel, and elbow space, making it a solid choice for longer-term cruising or living aboard. Inside, these boats are cozy and functional. The layouts prioritize practical use at sea. Galley close to the companionway, solid sea berths, and lots of handholds. Storage is excellent, and the overall vibe is one of quiet strength. You feel safe in these boats. You feel like you could ride out a squall and still cook dinner afterward. On the water, they're not the fastest hulls, but they're stable, predictable, and forgiving. They heave too well, handle heavy seas with confidence, and give you that comforting sense of having the right tool for the job. For budget-conscious blue water cruisers, Southern Crossboats are tough to beat. The Mason 33 and 43 are heavy, long-range cruising boats with serious offshore presence. With their full keels, deep hulls, and solid construction, these boats were built for sailors who want to go far, carry a load, and do it all in style and comfort. The 33 offers a compact but robust platform for solo or couple cruising. It's well-balanced, roomy enough below, and easy to handle despite its ocean-going build. The 43 is a step up in every direction. More tankage, more storage, more elbow room, and one of the most respected offshore boats in its size range. Down below, both models have richly finished interiors with proper sea berths, secure galleys, and nav stations that make sense. These are boats made for serious passage making, and it shows in the way systems are laid out. There's no fluff, no gimmicks, just solid hardware and thoughtful design. Under sail, they're stable and comfortable, not quick or sporty, but they carry momentum, handle big seas with ease, and keep their crews safe and dry when conditions get rough. If you want a boat that feels like a small ship and can take you anywhere, Mason belongs on your short list. The Endurance 35 and 40 are true ocean voyagers, heavy, full-keel cruisers that are all about rugged reliability and long-range comfort. These boats were typically built by a variety of yards, often to semi-custom specs, so you'll see differences in finish and layout. But at their core, they all share the same DNA: strength, seaworthiness, and endurance, just like the name suggests. With deep holes, generous displacement, and plenty of internal volume, these boats are made for extended time offshore. They handle heavy seas gracefully, and their motion in rough conditions is one of their standout features. You can sail them conservatively and know they'll take care of you when the weather turns. Down below, they offer a live-aboard-friendly layout with great storage and sea-friendly berths. Many are ketch-rigged, which adds sailplan versatility, especially nice when you're short-handed or reefing down. You won't be setting speed records, but you'll be comfortable, secure, and self-reliant. For cruisers who want to go far and need a boat that can shrug off punishment, the Endurance 35 and 40 are exactly what the name promises. The Nicholson 32 and 35 are British classics, elegant, tough, and designed with serious offshore sailing in mind. These are boats with real heritage. Countless sailors have used them for ocean crossings, circumnavigations, and solo passages, and their reputation for seaworthiness is well earned. They feature full keels, narrow beams, and deep hulls, which combine for a boat that tracks beautifully and handles rough water with grace. While they might heel a bit under sail, they rarely feel out of control. You can trust them to look after you when the conditions get difficult. Inside, you'll find compact but highly functional interiors. Everything is where it needs to be. Galley near the companionway, secure sea berths, decent storage. They're not luxurious, but they're incredibly practical, which is what counts offshore. These boats are ideal for solo sailors or couples who want to go far without drawing too much attention. They're modest in size and performance, but big on capability. If you're looking for a serious passage maker with a track record longer than most sailors' dream logs, the Nicholson 32 or 35 is more than up to the task. The caliber 35 and 40 are American-built cruising boats designed for sailors who want long-range capability without sacrificing comfort or ease of handling. These boats have gained a loyal following for their solid construction, smart layouts, and reliability at sea. Built with a moderate draft and a skeg-hung rudder, Calibers strike a nice balance between offshore stability and coastal flexibility. They're known for tracking well and behaving predictably, especially in heavy weather. While not flashy, the build quality is solid. Good layups, strong bulkheads, and thoughtful access to critical systems. Inside, they shine. The layouts are practical but feel open and comfortable. You get a real galley, solid nav station, and sleeping quarters that are actually usable on passage. Tankage is excellent for their size, which makes them ideal for sailors who prefer independence from marinas and long hops between ports. Performance-wise, they're steady and comfortable. Not race boats, but not slugs either. They're boats that you can manage alone or as a couple and still feel confident offshore. If you're looking for a capable cruiser with all the right features and none of the fluff, Caliber deserves a spot on your shortlist. The CSY 37 and 44 were built in the late 1970s and early 80s with durability in mind. And it shows. These boats were marketed as charter-capable cruisers, so they had to be tough, spacious, and easy to maintain. What came out of that process were hulls so thick you could swing a hammer at them and not worry. With full keels and heavy displacement, these boats are solid offshore performers. They're not light, but that's part of the charm. When the wind picks up and the seas grow, they stay composed. You'll see them all over the Caribbean and beyond, many still actively cruising decades after they were built. The CSY-44 is especially known for its cavernous interior. It's one of the roomiest 40-footers out there, making it ideal for liveaboards or long-term voyagers who want more than just a bunk and a burner. The 37 is more compact, but just as sturdy. They're easy to work on, carry lots of gear, and sail with a forgiving motion. If you're okay trading a bit of speed for bulletproof construction and livability, the CSYs are a phenomenal value in the blue water world. The Corbin 39 is a serious, go-anywhere blue water cruiser with a reputation for ruggedness and capability. Most were owner-finished, which means interior layouts can vary widely, but the hull and deck are consistently strong. These boats are heavily built with thick fiberglass, full keels, and massive tankage, designed for long-term, long-range voyaging. They have a distinctive look, solid, purposeful, and ready for high latitudes or tropical passages alike. Many have been modified for specific routes, and you'll find them with all sorts of custom rigs and interior setups, depending on who originally completed the build. At sea, they're steady and sure-footed. The deep draft and heavy displacement give them excellent motion in rough water, and the full keel offers protection and tracking stability. These aren't fast boats, but they carry weight well and make excellent time when it counts, especially when loaded down with gear and provisions. If you're a self-sufficient sailor who values strength, flexibility, and the ability to customize your boat to your needs, the Corbin 39 is a fantastic platform. They're not for everyone, but for the right skipper, they're an absolute fortress on the water. Alright, that's the rundown. 10 solid bits of gear that I think are actually worth having aboard. Some of them are everyday workhorses, others are the kind of safety gear you hope you never need. But all of them have earned their place on my boat, or on boats I trust. Sailing throws all kinds of surprises at you, and the right gear doesn't just make life easier, it can keep you safe, dry, and ready when the unexpected happens. Hopefully, this list helps you sort the useful from the fluff. If any of these caught your eye, I've dropped Amazon affiliate links down in the description so you can check them out for yourself. Doesn't cost you anything extra, and it helps support the channel a bit if you end up grabbing something. Thanks for hanging out with me. Stay safe, stay salty, and I'll see you out there.